Have you ever noticed, though, that where humility is concerned, we do well in some situations, not so well in others? We might get into trouble.
Hey guys, welcome to the JW Untold Truth channel. Let's have a look at Psalms chapter 146 verse 3. Let's have a listen to this scripture.
Do not put your trust in princes, nor in a son of man, who cannot bring salvation.
So do not put trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, who cannot bring salvation. So after listening to that Bible verse, let's have a look how this branch representative Peter Bell refers to the governing body, the leaders of the Jehovah Witnesses.
Now, what examples do we have of imperfect humans following the way of Jesus Christ? Let's turn in our Bibles to Matthew 24, 45 to 47. Who really is the faithful and discreet slave whom his master appointed over his domestics to give them their food at the proper time? Happy is that slave if his master on coming finds him doing so. Truly I say to you, he will appoint him over all his belongings. While originally appointed over the individual members of the anointed in 1919 to provide spiritual food at the right time, we've subsequently identified the faithful and discreet slave in 2013 as the governing body. Have you thought about the way that, like Jesus Christ, they have humbled themselves?
So let's just stop for a second because there was a lot of information there. Let's have a look and split this up for a bit. So the governing body, imperfect humans, following Jesus. So does that mean that not every Christian is following Jesus? What? Why do they need to emphasize this? Originally appointed members in 1919. So yes, all the faithful and all the anointed were members of this group in 1919. They were appointed back then, but they changed the meaning to the faithful and discreet slave in 2013, the governing body. So they took them 100 years, almost 100 years to work that out. Interesting. The governing body, like Jesus, humble themselves. So are they comparing themselves to Jesus? They humble themselves. Is that a humble thing to compare yourself as Jesus? Really? Does that also mean that all Christians don't humble themselves like Jesus? I mean, I don't think they will go that far to liken themselves like Jesus. They like to follow the example of Jesus, but I don't think they would like to compare themselves to Jesus. Let's have a look how humble they are.
First of all, Brother Samuel Hurd. He spent 32 years as a travelling overseer, and all the difficulties that he mentioned. I remember he was saying that even to find a bathroom that he could use back then, because he was black, was absolutely a problem for him.
Wow, he could not find a bathroom. That is the worst thing that he has to mention about Samuel Hurd? Really? Interesting.
Jeffrey Jackson, 24 years as a missionary. He also pioneered translation. Brother Stephen Lett, he was a Bethelite, special pioneer, and 19 years as a travelling overseer. Gerrit Losch, special pioneer, 13 years as a travelling overseer. Mark Sanderson, special pioneer, sub-travelling overseer, HID in Canada, the Philippines, where he was in the service department, and then brought back as a member of the governing body. David Splain, he really is Canadian, missionary in Senegal, 19 years a travelling overseer in Quebec. Kenneth Cook, he came to Bethel in 1984. He was on the press for 4 years. Then he was in the Bethel office and then in the writing department on the governing body. Jeffrey Winder, Bethel, then in the Bethel office, then audiovisual, and then personnel. Gage Flegel in Bethel in the bindery, then service, and then teaching. And now the two new brothers, Jody Jedele, Bethel in LDC, and then eventually brought back into Bethel again. And then finally, Brother Jacob Rumpf, a need greater in Ecuador, travelling overseer, Gilead, and various countries.
Wow, that is very humbling. All these things. They are so humble like Jesus. They imperfect. They humble themselves to be like Jesus.
Countries. So when we look through these brothers, don't we see that they really did give of themselves just like Jesus Christ? When you think about the kind of people that we have as the governing body to take that kind of time for one individual, aren't we really gratified that we have people who want to like that?
So let's just hold on a second. So they are comparing the leaders of the Jehovah Witnesses as Jesus. But let's have a look if they really are like Jesus Christ. So we got the governing body here versus Jesus. Let's have a look. Did Jesus have a compound with the latest technology, with the latest accommodation and everything? No, Jesus didn't have that. The governing body does have a $2 or $3 billion worth of a complex in the middle of somewhere in America with beautiful views of the lake, with the latest furniture and who knows what. Did Jesus have money to throw away to whatever they want? No, Jesus didn't have money. The governing body does. Did Jesus have a body of lawyers? No, he didn't have a body of lawyers. The governing body does. Did Jesus have Rolexes worth thousands of dollars? No, he didn't. The governing body does. Did Jesus have real estate? No, he didn't have one single home. The Jehovah Witnesses or the Watchtower has billions of dollars worth of real estate. Did Jesus shun away people? No, he didn't. But the governing body makes the Jehovah Witnesses shun the families, the sons, the daughters, the fathers, the mothers, the friends, everyone, if they leave the organization. Jesus never did that. So even a blind man can see the hypocrisy in this religion. I mean, come on. Even a blind man can see this is so wrong. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And let's have a look what we can find for the next one.